emergency security meeting between an new government and the Hausa government. And this meeting is so emergency because of what has happened within the recent time. About a month or 2 months ago, we've had sleepless nights. The two communities have had sleepless nights. But the most devastating is the one happening in Aniri. Of course, Umuozuoke community in Obangu. The two chairmen, Naombo Sef and Aja, have never rested for one day. The army from Ebonyi State, Ubru boundary, and the one at Newa and Dodoma have been deployed through the respective CSOs to ensure that we will restore normalcy in the affected communities. Still, it seems the effort so far deployed have not yielded much desired result. To this, we convene this meeting. This is not the first meeting that have been going on between the stakeholders and the people of Anilo government under the office of the Deputy Chairman. Today, unfortunately, the Deputy Chairman is not here. He would have been of great help to tell us how effort has gone to ensure the crisis was sustained, that no more casualties or deaths recorded. Because we charged him with a lot of responsibilities to move into action and use his offices, which is in charge of the Boundary Commission of the local government, to ensure peace. But today is no more here to tell us part of his experience for the task we gave him as a deputy chairman. But we are also on the known that we did not leave that duty alone for the deputy chairman's office. At a point, I spoke with my brother and colleague chairman, who, of course, scheduled an appointment with me, and he eventually honored that appointment. We had fruitful interactions with one of us here, the chairman of the Banco Elders Forum, who is Chief Honorable Paul Ubunga. I was privileged to meet with the chairman of our house that very day in my house, and we rubbed minds together. Because we cannot remember the last we have this kind of thing that we've started seeing a few months ago. Obanku or Aniri and our house has never been going to war, and we would not expect to do that now. These are very good neighboring communities who love themselves, who see themselves as brothers and sisters. But unfortunately, some bad elements among us, during the time Babangida was in power as a military head of state, there was any insecurity that lasted 24 hours. There is more to that. So this will convene this meeting for the two local governments to meet so that we can fine-tune the best approach to end this madness. But my prayer today, before we move into deliberations, anybody seated here or who is not here that has hand what has been happening between Obanku, Umuozuoke, and some community in Ubru, these people that were massacred, gruesomely murdered, their own death will be worse than those people. Their own death will be more than those people. The most painful one was last week, if I'm not mistaken, a woman who is cooking in her house. These criminals came from their normal routes and they invaded and murdered this woman and murdered her child and fled away. And we cannot continue to keep our hands or fold our hands without doing anything to end it. Because if you continue to keep silence, it means we are encouraging what has been happening. It may be who is okay today and one community in Nubu. If care is not taken, it will escalate. Those who feel they are safe will no longer be safe. So it is better we dare the truth and say the truth, and nothing will happen. Who can put one is where and I need a fan as well. When you can near by no fees or so bad. I'm a Chapunia and an man and the party. So we must caution ourselves. We must be open to ourselves to say the truth. Only truth. Only can bring solution here. I remember Swahili. At the end, here name. The president and unions of the respective local government or communities affected must be charged today with enormous responsibility to avert this thing to happen again. And if it continues, that means they are culprits. We will tag them as members of those people who are cleaning up. Ndigwe must go back home. By the time we deliberate on issues that may have militated to this unwanted killing in Abanku and of course in Obu. You cannot say nobody has been killed in Obu. That is the total fallacy. Of course, as it has been happening in Aniri, I believe also some bad elements from Aniri is also causing havoc in Obu. So, and the retaliations are not the best approach. That's why we are here. To deal with issues, and of course, those elements, and begin to fish them out. I commend my colleague chairman, the effort so far. Security issues are not discussed in the public place. They are not discussed in the social media. For those who are, I don't know how to classify them, but there are some of them are seated here, who are also engineering media nonsense against what has been happening. If you ask them the effort they personally put in this case, nothing. They think social media will solve it. So that is why we are here. We must call a spade a spade. I call this meeting for us to rub minds together and find the best approach to end this madness. I classify this situation as madness because that is what it is. And if we do not end it now, we may regret that we failed to do what ordinarily we should have done in the future. So on this note, I want to invite the council chairman, Von Hauser, to, of course, make an official statement on this issue. And then the floor will be open for contributions. Thank you.
I want to thank you, the two of you, for this meeting, which is being held possibly to find a lasting solution to what we are observing at the border between Abanku and Obu. Before I go ahead, I want to say that the most important thing done here so far is the prayers offered by the chairman of Aniri. And that prayer says, whoever is part of these killings, all the problems we'll be having in that area, his own death or her own death will be worse than those who have already been killed in that area. It's a very good one. We've been on this matter for years. We know that there are some people who are engineering all the happenings in that area. I don't know what they want to gain. You want to be the next day? What is it you want? How can you encourage killings? It's not correct. So we have to look inward to find out exactly what is happening. There are some elders who are using this to commit atrocities in that area. There's a way this thing is being handled, which I think is not very proper. There's a problem, yes, we agree. The last speaker from the other end talked about one more. You know that there was one woman who got born, killed. Okay, names were dropped, from about the people that killed him. Till tomorrow, till today, till now, his corpse is not seen. Okay, so what is important, very, very important, is to stop further killings. Whoever is engineering this needs to stop. Okay? And we want to beg that, like my colleague make a request for it. At the end of the day, let us have a communique, okay, that will be signed. And we ought to make commitments. Okay, from now onwards, we've seen the person that is leading the party. He has been at the forefront of this matter. The role he plays, I don't know. We need to investigate every one of us. We need to investigate him. Okay, and see what assistance is given to ensure that this thing does not continue. So let's have a community, something we can present. We are here at the instance of our government. Okay, we are being led by our executive chairman. I'm sure that the chairman would love to have something to present to our deputy governor, whose statutory duty it is to see to interstate boundary disputes. Thank you very much.
My dear chairman from our local government, I then want to thank and appreciate you the same way I've appreciated the local government chairman and family. You people have been doing wonderfully well. I may not end up my appreciation message without remembering the security agents who have been there for us, if not for their double effort in covering the issue whenever it erupts. We won't be living in Udula, and the Banco people won't be living today. So I applaud the security agents for their wonderful contribution in that. Yes, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I won't align myself to what my colleague have said. We don't need any piece of land belonging to Abanko people. We don't. And if Abanko people should tell themselves the truth, they shouldn't need any land that belongs to the people. We are married. We are in-laws. And I don't think any well-thinking person who goes to war and kill his grandchild has succeeded in killing his enemy. And that person not succeeded in killing himself. Abanko have numerous grandchildren in Ubu. We have numerous grandchildren in Abanko. Then why should we engage in war over a land that has been dead, over a land that is defined? Then, like my colleague rightly said, any father that gives a gift of land to his children without defining the boundaries of the land has done more harm than good, whether you like it or not. So by so saying, Nigeria, that is using the instrument of Natural Boundary Commission, who created the central state, and from there got Imo State and the other Anambra State, they still have a instrument line they used in creating other Anambra State and then Imo State, where we came from, to form a police state today. And we are resolved to uphold that instrument line, not shifting 1 inch to claim any land that belongs to Abanko people. Come rain or shine. And we don't wish that Abanko people should claim 1 chunk of a land that belongs to us. So we are saying and reaffirming that the Enugu state government and the Ebonyi state government, through their deputies as it goes, should make a memorandum, which I also will affirm here, that this meeting cannot be well concluded if memorandum of understanding reached by this house is not written and signed by both parties. So when it is going, when any of the government to approach National Boundary Commission, they say this is the last resolution reached by these people. Enough of this attitude of this indici of our Banco people. I emphasize particularly of our Banco people. Honorable Chairman, very pleased you to know that this is the third visit of Nduburu to this very office. And our Banco, Adini has visited the wards that our local government over this particular matter. And because each time this effort we are trying to establish now will reach a point of, executing it, our Banco people will reach. Reaching because of those DHA who are making meat from the uninformed people. You don't go to market and buy cartridges and gun without money, and somebody is buying it. And that is not the same price is being sold that is telling the community about it. So let our Banco people come out, wherever ready, even if you say tomorrow, to come out so that this instrument now will be established. Once it is established, our Banco will see their land standing for them. People will see their land standing for them. Then whosoever migrates from here to this place will tell the community what he's looking at, or what he's looking for. Please, that is our stand, and we keep maintaining it. And if it is done tomorrow, this squabble, because this is the DHA, I'm giving misconstrued information to not inform people over the correct boundary mark between Ubra and Banco. And the moment those DHA, also I am believing that within 2-3 days now, they will all die the same way those people die. So that Banco will have peace, so that people will have peace. If anybody is falling into Ubra the same way, if another person die, the same way they shall die. Yes, so don't use the child of another person to wage war and think you are saving your own. You are not saving your own, you are doing your own, go forward in the hands of God. The National Boundary Commission director was there live. The Secretary General of the Federation was there live. Enugu State Governor, Enugu State Deputy Governor, the name of the lady she mentioned was there. Our own Deputy Governor, Barrister Ikerechi, was there. And the team of Louis Boo from Enugu State, boundary areas with the Ebonyi State, and sent it to Ebonyi State. We were all there. At the end of it all, my colleague here was dedicated to speak the minds of our people. And he affirmed that the instrument line in question was not done by us. We were not there when it was used. And marked even to date that we are relying on that same instrument line of the then Central State that gave birth to Anambra and then Imo State. Enugu's deputy governor at the end of it all, through her secretary, draw up this communique that we sent to you. And this man, this very particular man who made this speech now, was the person who arose to no, and all that joined, and the deputy governor shouted it down in my very presence. And at the end of it all, that communique was signed. They will forward it to you, like if when people that found to have the signature, you see it. So one this very guy is so serious, he is the brain behind the crisis between Ubra and Banco people. He is the sole brain behind it. In whatever capacity is already, take note of him. I'm telling it because he had been there, and I've been saying so, and I've been doing it. So, lastly, Honorable Chairman, National Boundary Commission, between the month of November, invited both communities to Abuja, and we all attended. And at the end of the meeting there, we uphold what we have been upholding instrument line of the then Central State. And the question was put to them again. Supposing National Boundary Commission come for the execution of this instrument line, and the Banco people in Egypt as usual. What happens? They said at this point, whether they come out or not, the instrument line will be used. Take note again, we said it in the meeting of that Amadou Hotel, that during the course of implementing this instrument line, if there be any body people that have migrated to Enugu State, if they like, let them remain there and pay loyalty and allegiance to Enugu State government. If there be any Hausa people or any body people that have migrated vis-a-vis, either you return to your area of origin or you remain where you are and pay loyalty and tribute to where you find yourself. And it was agreed. This was the only man who released. Right there, the deputy governor shouted him down in our presence, and the communique was at the end of it raised by Enugu State deputy governor and signed. Yes, record me very well. I am saying what will happen there. The deputy governors, the both deputy governors are still living. They are still living. So that's the reason why I said, watch this guy. He's the brain behind whatever thing that is transpiring, finding the of this crisis. I know that in my mind. Thank you.
Then we have the two chairmen in our midst. We have the SS. We have the youth. Meaning there is no other meeting that can be greater than this in resolving this issue. And secondly, I'm happy to hear a lot of people trying to come up with the truth. The chairman was calling for the truth when he was making his own remark. And he cast a spell on whoever should have a hand in the killing of these people. We shouldn't take that for granted. It was supported by another high SZL. So this is not a small meeting. I feel on my own, this meeting should look for a permanent solution to this crisis. And that is what we are for. It is being a age-long crisis. But I feel this generation can solve this problem, bring it to an end. If we do not do it, I don't think the digital generation that don't have time to sit down again into traditional matter will do it. If we don't do it, we discover that the criminal will continue to hide under this crisis, to be killing our people. I heard of former meetings talking about instrument line. Another person was talking about ethnographic survey line. Another person was talking about whenever the solution of the meeting was about to be implemented, a particular set of people will not come out. And I don't know who will tell me as an SSS personnel not to hold those who have been refused to come out responsible for this crisis. And again, my colleague here is just talking about one Felix. Felix is not an invisible man. If the community leader from where he belongs to cannot bring Felix, we should charge Jesus to bring Felix. In as much as on the other side, Alende had handed over 2 people to the security who they felt was responsible for the killing. I am standing here for a permanent solution. I am not standing here for any temporary solution. If we need the 2 chairmen to invite the National Boundary Commission, let them come and effect whichever is acceptable, instrument line or ethnographic survey line. Within the week, that problem can be resolved, so that nobody shall be hiding under the witness of the National Boundary Commission to be committing killing on his own interest. If the chiefs, the high chiefs, the chairman can sit down here and disagree with whatever is happening there, I don't know what then is the responsibility of the National Boundary Commission. On my own, I want at the end of this meeting, a letter should be forwarded to the National Boundary Commission on the matter that had already been handled to the last chapter. They should come for conclusion. as urgent as possible. Else, the DSS will not fail to also accuse National Boundary Commission as having hand in what is happening there. It's a farmland. We all know what is farmland. If we cannot join hands to cultivate, can they come and tell us, you cultivate rich here, you cultivate rich here? If at the end of the instrument line, if they need to put caterpillar to create a road from this side of the road, it's for Uburu, this side, Kupanku, I think it will solve the problem. And I joined the chairman and the high chiefs to cast a spell on whoever is having hand in the blood of innocent farmers in that area. It's annoying. It's annoying. So, Chairman, please, I plead with two of you, the high chiefs, the elders, I plead with you all, from Ohazara, am I right? Omaza and Aniri, to come together in another brief meeting to see how to jointly send a letter to National Boundary Commission. We should not wait for the state. It's our people who are suffering. If the two chairmen, the chiefs, have agreed there should be peace, then let us do the needful. Let us do the needful. And please, I want to appeal to the community that Felix comes from. My brother, as an assistant director in the service, I don't come here to brag. I will meet him. Those past ESCOs, you should give me their names. We need to invite them to answer questions. They can answer questions in Ebonyi State House. They can answer questions also. If an issue had gone to Abuja and returned, why are we still killing? Let this permanent solution come in, we draw the line. Let us now know who are those who are killing, the reason behind their killing. Thank you.
Well, if we want to tell ourselves the truth, a lot of things have happened. Ubu people have lost people there, Bantu people have lost people there. So, the security agents should do their work, but we should put the past behind us and focus on solution to this problem. And that is where we can get a lasting peace in that place. And I believe, the way analysis has said it all, the two communities, they don't have any problem interpersonal. They marry, they intermarry, and everything. And in fact, one of our most illustrious sons, the former chief of staff, is not from Okwan. Even many people don't even know. So many people. So why are we destroying ourselves? Let us calm down. Because I know that the former administration, the two deputy governors, in one of the last meetings that I was also in attendance, Chief Mrs. Cecilia Ezilo was moderating. My deputy governor, then deputy governor, Barrister Kelechi, was also there. And when he came to this agreement of instrument line, she adopted it, and everybody agreed. But there was an uproar from somewhere people were sitting together. And what she said last was, I know what to do. And that is how the Boundary Commission, everybody left, because we thought she said she knew what to do. But nothing was done. And that was when the total peace process broke down. So I want to encourage you. Don't feel that the state government has tried and they failed. It's on your table, the two chairmen. You can handle this because every problem is local. You can get to the root of this matter. And even if you can say that this is what you have achieved in your tenure, it's very tangible because there's nothing that's more than somebody's life. And who knows the extent it can go if it's not handled. So I want to suggest that we have a lasting solution to this problem. And that anything, I interact with some people, anything that we can do to achieve peace, we abide by it. But nobody, if we are saying that instrument line should have the ethnographic survey is straight to me, because everybody talks about instrument line. So, and that is the only way we can get to the solution. And the way it happens is that even if this part of the land is ceded to the other side, if you are living there, you continue to live there. Nobody disturbs you. But you know that this is the boundary between Ohaza and Aneri. That's all. Nobody will tell you back out. It has happened. If somebody is telling you that the north, Ebonyi North, and the central has not demarcated their own using instrument land, the person is telling you a lie. It was done the last administration, conclusively done. It was only when you start coming to the south that you started having this resistance. Because it's good. As now, the truth is that instrument line have been used between Ebonyi State and Enugu State in the north and central. It's only in the south that started having resistance. So, once again, I join others to thank you again and to say that what happened is very unfortunate. But let us watch it so that it doesn't escalate. Thank you.
I want to advise and also add a little to what has been discussed. My advice is, if we are going to continue bordering on the remote causes of this crisis, which is the claims to the borderlands by the two local government and the two communities that are in this crisis, then we will not leave this place today. The National Boundary Commission is not present here. The deputy governors of both states who are in charge of border boundary issues are not present here. It's just we at the local government level that are trying to look for, a temporary solution. So what I want to advise is we should try and, bring up an agenda that we adopt as a way forward to curbing and reducing the killings and the crisis, ongoing at that border corridor for now, pending when the National Boundary Commission and the two state governments will agree to come and demarcate the line. Because as we see the argument back and forth, nobody will agree to anything. It's just claims and counter claims, and we don't have the resources and the evidences to show that, okay, this person is saying the truth or this person is not saying the truth. So having said that, I want to mention here that the immediate causes of the crisis in the last 2 months, from our observation, has been, or even from the last planting season, the crisis usually erupts either during the planting season or the harvesting season. That is when this crisis, particularly the killings, erupts. Like the adoption and killing of Vincent Aleke happened during the planting or rainy season last year, around May, June. Then we were able to curb the crisis at that time. They finished planting, and then the harvesting season came, particularly the harvesting of rice, and the crisis erupted again. So I, on my part, and my fellow heads of security agencies, we try to initiate a kind of a temporary way to make sure that everybody harvests their rice during that period without any further killings. But the meeting could not hold because of one reason or the other. That was why it continued into the new year, and here we are. So my advice is, let us think of a way to ensure that our people can go and plant in their farms and also harvest thereafter without any further killings or destruction of property, pending when these two states and the National Boundary Commission will agree to go to the border corridor and demarcate the line for a permanent solution. That is my advice. So I don't know how we are going to go about that. I know it's a very, very onerous task to do, because if you go to that bush now, this person will say he's the owner of this farm, the other person will say he's the owner of the same farm. So it's very difficult. But I don't know how we are going to go about it. I think the chiefs and the Ezes can assist us. Maybe we'll have to set up a committee that would, go there from time to time to observe them during the planting and harvesting season. Or I don't know how we are going to go about it, but I think that is the solution we should look for. In the interim, pending when we are able to find a lasting solution to the crisis. As for the issue of Frederick Njoku, the Umaneketa community leaders are here. You can ask them. We have told them to hand over Frederick Njoku to us so that we can do the needful in terms of further investigating the allegations and also making the law to take its course. We are still waiting for them. So I personally had even made up my mind to go after the leaders of the community even before this meeting started. If they don't produce him, I gave them an ultimatum. But over the last weeks during the Utah season, the Umaneketa people changed their village executives. So I didn't even know who to hold again. Up to now, I'm still waiting for them to introduce new chairman of the village to me. So that is what I can say about Frederick Njoku. They keep on telling me he's at large. I have the picture, but I don't have his full physique, just his face, like Chief Alex said.
First thing I want us to understand here is peace is non-negotiable. I'm not here to negotiate peace with anybody. I will enforce that peace even against our wish. Yes. Secondly, it's about neutrality. Anytime I enter that bush, they see Okwanku, whenever they see me, they will be skeptical. It is the Nigerian army, not Uburu army or Aniri army. It is the Nigerian army. Forget the fact that I reside at Uburu. And for all of us here, I represent both sides. And I will do as much as I can to see that justice is done. Now, concerning the issue of Frederick Njoku, shift, jump up. I collected 4 people from Okwanku from you, and I initiated an exchange program because I don't want anybody to pass the night without his people. It will fuel the crisis. And I initiated an exchange program. They brought Frederick Njoku, and I gave them the 4 people back. Now, Eze Omezurike, you receive Frederick Njoku from me together with you. You have 48 hours to produce him. Shh. That was one. Secondly, concerning you to Chief Alex, because I'll touch both sides, call a spade a spade. When I hand over those people to you, they were intact. And only for the DSS to call me and send me some kind of pictures that are uncalled for. Those people I give you, they were intact. The next thing I saw them, they plastered this side, they plastered this side. One person like that was about to die. All these things will fuel this crisis. When I gave you that picture, I pleaded with you that let this matter die down. These people are, please, any thing now will fuel this crisis. You shouldn't have snapped that picture. Those pictures you snapped, you sent to this, it will go far and it will raise unnecessary crisis. Let's call a spade a spade. Both sides were all wrong here. Both sides are wrong. You can't say you're 100% right, this side is 100% right. No. But the truth is, this killing was taught. Why? Innocent people are the one paying the price. You can't just tell me that women cannot go to bush and fetch firewood and do small thing. What kind of nonsense is that? Then, the issue of harvest. Let's create a day. I will be in that bush. In fact, I've turned that bush to my second home. I will be in that bush. These issues of this harvest, that was the reason why the DSS, my colleague, initiated that both communities should come. We provide security. If it is for 2-3 days, let everybody harvest what he has planted. and do away with that place until a lasting solution is met. Thank you.
Due respect, Your Highness. I was in Abakaliki the first day they talked about that instrument line. We wrote a communique on it. They said that the disputed areas, unresolved areas, shall be determined using instrument line. After writing the communique inside the room and brought it out to read for us, I was one of the representatives from the community that day. Then there was an uproar. All the community leaders started shouting, no, 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 no. That was in Abakaliki. So, and Cecilia, Cecilia was the deputy governor then. Then she now said, listen, why are these people shouting like this? Then one of them, I think the secretary to the Enugu State Boundary Committee, said yes, that the instrument line was adopted initially from the beginning of Ebonyi and the Enugu boundary, the Amufu area, issued for area. But the Ebonyi State rejected the instrument line because using that instrument line means that some communities in Ebonyi will be ceded to Enugu. Now, downward this side, Ebonyi State wants to adopt instrument line because it is favoring them. So that there is no way we continue using instrument line. Stop using instrument line on the other side and come to this side, start using it. So, and CCDS did not sign that communique, and it was repassed. They went and rewrote it and brought it and read to us. We accepted it because they said they didn't mention instrument line immediately. In another meeting at the Nike Lake Resort Hotel, I was there as well. Your Highness, you spoke when they brought about the issue of instrument line. They shouted. They were even shouting you down, even though you were regulated. They know you are a royal majesty. Still, they were shouting because the people were not happy. Not only Nigerian people, the entire Enugu people. Still, they will say, Nandi Enugu is in a hair, Nandi I will not sign. What I'm saying is verifiable. And they did not sign. Hello, sir.
Your Majesty.
He is the person. Hello, I was there.
Hello.
I said I was.
Okay, from Uma Nekenta, Eluope, in Omaza local government. That's where he's coming from. That is his place. The security agents may not deny it. They have the picture of the same man we are talking about. He is this last young girl, 16 years old girl, killed. Somebody saw him, the same Frederick that shot Ojinga wife, Bridget Mwonye, when he's dragging the woman, and they are running him, he put the gun in his jug and shot her. Then the same Frederick was seen a girl cooking rice for the grandmother. See, the same Frederick, that three number that come in that journey, that still shot. When he shot, he ran away. Frederick in Joko, and the DSS, they are aware of the person. So we need whosoever committed anything against the government must face justice. So if it's handed over to security agents to face that law, then we know we are forging ahead. Our elders are ready, ever ready, to go wherever we agreed on, because they know where the covenant was taken between our grandfathers, and then they know the place. If you are sincere enough, I'm removing my Shua Monyamal. I'm telling everybody here that Obanku, the elders, will never take anything that not belongs to Obanku and give to them. We know the value of land. You cannot try that. It's very dangerous. When we come into this, we don't shed blood. It's against our law. If you kill in Obanku, you must face it. Just an example.
There's someone that I'm looking for, one Vincent. And I know I spoke with the two Igwes. They asked me about this person. I asked my people. They said they're not aware of anything of this nature. I asked them, okay, no way. But the elders round up and say, which people went to farm that day that this thing happened? They mentioned one boy that they went to that farm that day. They called him and said, do you know anything about this? The boy said no. The elder said that he must be handed over to the police to investigate whether he knows anything about that. The same boy was handed over to the police. He's still in prison as we are talking now. Who will people mention again? There's another person that is suspecting, one adult. The community still get that boy handed over to the police that's still there since June or May because we don't share blood. So my question is, Frederick Njoku must be handed over to the security agents before we forge ahead. Thank you for now.
To advise us and talk to everybody here. We are here for peace. And by the special grace of God, we don't get supply now. Please. Ndị be anyị si na isiokwu anaghị adị onye kpatara ya mma, nakwa na-adị onye kpatara ya mma. All these things that have been happening, we should try to put a stop to it. And I believe after this meeting, I can a solution to this problem that has been happening in Jesus' name. So please, I can now. The same way on the men are nearly, or the same way that has been happening in Ubru. So many persons have lost their life in Ubru and in local government over a piece of land. Another idea which will still remain only on Alapa in the year and December now, and we are fighting over it. So please, I want to appeal to each and every one of us. I try here, may embrace peace. All we do, because I will now continue, and now comes the problem. Like my colleague rightly said, I will now the money that we are supposed to be using to work for you people, I engineer now solve security issues. Then I'll be asking a chairman and IBEL, then there's no development. I will not issue. So please, I want to appeal to every one of us here. Can you embrace peace? Thank you and thank you.
I thank all of you. There's one saying I love so much. Conscience is an open wound. It's only true can hear it. I was privileged. Listen and listen attentively. Because we are peace-loving people. The first crisis we had, 4 persons were butchered. I called the so-called President General, Umezurike. We are all traditional. And you cannot keep the gods of the man. Let me prove what I'm saying. It's nothing but the truth. We are crying for our wives and the young ones killed. You see the body language of this young man. The PG, Umezurike. I got the number. I was former second President General of Economic Community under Igbo Professor Bai. Every time permanent secretary. See, do you hear about it? Do you know if it's like what? Him. Let him come out, because that is why I say you conscience is an open road. It's only true that I hear it. You know what this man answered me? That he's in a party. I will remember that. God will answer us. He said, what do you mean? I said, yes, later he realized himself. The question he put across all of us was stupid. Did those people cross Iyon? There's a place, my brother, they call Iyon. He said, oh, are you an adjustment officer? Our boundary adjustment officer. See what you are saying. He shut up in his mouth. I'm very furious. A retired director. I was mad. That is why I said, mind your body language. Your body language can cause problem. It can fuel crisis. If he has no administrative avenue, let me teach you. I rest my case. What we are looking for, as rightly pointed out, is peace. But you advise your people. Even when you don't receive the tongue unnecessary, it will kill. May God help us.
Highnesses, security chiefs, gentlemen. Well, my name again is Dr. Mezu Kedana, and I've been on this matter with so many other people. And I want to say a few things. One is to thank the Almighty God who has made today possible. Because it's God that things has not really escalated in that place. When things were going the way it was going, I always tell people that we are sitting on a time bomb. And you never can tell who will be affected. That it's always good to do the right thing at the right time. Because each time you have crisis, it starts little by little to be going further and escalating. But thank God that today we are sitting together. So I want to use this opportunity to once again to thank the two chairmen. They have shown capacity and commitment, and I commend you. I want to say that Enugu State and Ebonyi State have been two sister states. And Anuri and the Hosa have been two local governments of a kind. And how this problem has lingered, nobody can explain. Because almost like 8 years ago, we have been on this matter. And I want to commend one of our illustrious sons from Impu, who brought us together, the kind of Obasi Samuel, Odoyemi, and we were meeting. And something I noticed at the beginning of our meeting is that each time we are meeting, the next meeting will have a different stakeholders coming from the other side. And I complained until we started getting to the real people. Because that's and every problem is local. That is why I align myself with the DSS man that said we can reach a conclusion.
And the by so when head weapon area. So my question goes to, I have a question to security agents of Ebonyi and Aniri. Where is Frederick Njoku, the leader of Killer Squad? I know if the DSS of Ohonzra is here and have the picture of Frederick Njoku, if the DSS of Aniri is here and has a picture of Frederick Njoku, and the person who witnessed the murder of those that he murdered is here, and my question is to that securities, before we go ahead in whatever we are to discuss, I know the law of Nigeria is if you committed anything against the law, you must face the law by yourself. Because the soul Frederick is still going around boasting that nothing will happen and nobody will ever pick him and he's free. So this is the only thing I have to say now. My question is, where is Frederick Njoku?
At the instance of the two local government chairmen, if I report meeting, Samara is going forward. For one piece, I told you, so Matthew, la lawyer, I want to so tell you semester of Uncle Lugu, Dolama, Black Bottle Tie Circle. Label Madele, we don't do I like it in summer. We don't like it, don't really like it. And the long this la give it to go to Manjam Woman. I saw it before meeting. So you will report for now.
haven't told us about the name of the person and the village he came from. We are giving you our assurances that as soon as we get out of this place, we'll do the needful. Are you hearing me? Picking out the distance among us, I think will be an added advantage to the part of peace all of us are doing. The community people are not aware he's the action carried by him, and we can never be aware. Anytime we hear of whatever crisis that they brought to them, we always at the verge. Let's go the path of peaceful engagement. So anybody who goes to war at his own distance, another distance of the community. Thank you.
I want everybody to know that we are here for peace. And whether anybody likes it or not, we must achieve peace. Yes. Not of force we will use force to make sure that I will achieve peace. After here, I have been liaising with my colleague, and after here, I will meet with him. Then we will fix a date. Everybody currently in that place, Gabia, we will bring all the security agencies there. Then I make sure that everybody may harvest even with them. And nobody will enter that place until a main solution. Thank you.
And that person has been on rampage, killing people here, boasting that nothing will happen. Go and tell him something will happen. You will not talk. The only time you will make a speech is when handling that man back to the government. And if you fail to do that, we will declare you wanted. Look at my face very, very well. If you fail to hearken to his directive to produce that criminal in the next 48 hours, we will declare you wanted. I will work with the chairman and they will get you arrested until you produce him. So you have from now till 48 hours to go and get, he handed him over to you, get him back and give it back to him. That's the solution. Whether you like it, nod your head from now till December. We'll give you 48 hours to do so. I think I've communicated. Again, please let us be playing down some media activities of all this crisis. It has never helped, and it will never help. And there is no way His Royal Majesty, Dr. Omai, here, as refined as he is, and the well-spoken Igwe and other speakers will be lying when it comes to the two instruments mentioned here. One thing about me is, if you like, go back to the village platform and say, one doctor have said this. I will still say it before your village people. We know people. From the speeches made so far, going by the two local government and those who spoke, if you are not psychological inclined, I'm a psychologist. I have already identified some of the actors here. That is what has kept us where we are. Because we have been playing to the ground. When someone was asked the two villages, Umuezuoka and the other village, Umanekenta, where the kingpin, as you know where the kingpin is from, and they are here nodding your head. You are lucky, because if you hear, I want to detaining room, you will order them to detain you. Until you fail to produce that man, you know you are fighting the government. That's the word I can leave with you now. And I'm serious about it. And I know the council chairman of Hosa is also serious about it. So produce him and give him back to the government. Look at the few persons from Umuezuoka and the other village who came here and drew the attention of the people here. Few persons, 5 from this zone, about 3 or 4 from the other side. But look at the people you brought here for over 3 hours. And you cannot tell me that you people have not, or you do not know the root of the crisis, just like the army officer has spoken. And people are here deceiving ourselves. We're going to do what we should do as a government to protect the life and properties of our people. That's why we are government. And we are not going to look at anybody's face. When Dave Omai was a governor, he was a lion as a governor. He took decisive decisions that bettered the Ebonyi State today. And my governor, Peter Mba, is a governor who has taken practical decisions to put Enugu State where it is today, within the just last 1 year and a few months in office. So we need such practical steps, not only in the local government, but also in the world level and community leadership. If there is any community people wearing red cap here, coming here to speak, we are going to get you arrested until you lead us to where we end this matter. Because you cannot tell us you don't know what is happening in your community. This meeting will not end now. We will be visiting Ebonyi State and Hausa too, so that we will continue to fight you until we get the last solution to end this madness. So on this note, I want to thank all of us, the security agencies, the Igwes, of course, the two communities, these issues have been happening. And of course, the DSS from both sides, the Muhammad and Daniel. All of you are wonderful. You made a very critical statement that can never be played with. And I'm happy that the Igwe Omai, that's one thing I love from somebody. When this issue came up between Odum and Lupu, my father was still alive then. You came, you led your people to my father's palace at Onofodu, and he welcomed you, and he visited you too. And there's nothing like that case again. The two communities came back and still living as brothers and sisters. Because they have an understanding. And the same issue would have been done in a Banku, okay. And he made a very vital statement here. Not one, not two, not three. He repeated those statements. That this time, as Kabia made demarcation, some people will run. And the same people who now also, but the same people who are on social media fueling the crisis, copying messages, sending people, trying to malign people's maybe Gochuku and Joko's administration. Did you give me chairman? Governor gave me chairman through Chineke anywhere, and nothing anybody can do. And I will use the opportunity God has given to me through Peter to work and protect my people. And anybody that dares me, I will squarely face that person. The way I will face him, I will use law, all necessary laws, local government bylaws to follow that person. Whether you are my brother or you are not my brother. I don't care. What we are here is to bring lasting solution. We cannot continue to have problems and people are pretending nothing is happening. Just like the army man and the DSS have said, nobody, I am giving this assignment back to Bumba Bank, who is the leader of Elders of Thought, the whole of Banco Nasa. So please, after this meeting, go back home, convene a community meeting with your people, and let's communicate back to me so I can also reach to my colleague chairman. While one of the other person, the leader of the other community, will also do the same and communicate to the council chairman to give us, now we now invite the security agencies and they accept a conclusive date. We can also provide our military, the army, and what have you, to decide and allow our people to take off their crops and then close that place until we get a permanent solution. And if anybody, I have neighborhood watch and I have forest guard, I'm going to activate them. If after closing that place, or once our people enter there, they will be arrested. They will be arrested. If you, after closing that place, you see any of Banku moves okay there, get that person arrested and nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. Thank you.